Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in deeply. Now I ask you, who are you if you already hold millions in your hands? How do you stand? How do you walk? What thoughts run through your mind as you wake in the morning knowing abundance flows endlessly to you? You see, the secret is this: you must not wait for evidence before you believe. The evidence appears only when you first accept it as real. Wealth is not a number in your bank account. It is a state of being. And the moment you step into that state, the world bends to reflect it back to you. Consider for a moment how a wealthy person moves through life. Do they worry? Do they doubt? No. They expect. They receive. They carry themselves with an unshakable confidence because they know they are rich. If you wish to manifest abundance, you must first feel abundant. Not tomorrow, not when circumstances change, but now. In this very moment, you must assume the feeling of one who already has everything they desire. Speak, think, and act as if the millions are yours. Stop telling the story of struggle. Stop claiming lack. Instead, speak words of certainty. I am financially free. I am prosperous beyond measure. Everything I touch turns to gold. When you move through your day, carry yourself with the quiet confidence of a millionaire. Not arrogance, but assurance. When you look at a price tag, do not shrink in hesitation. Mentally affirm, I can afford anything I desire. Even if your outer world has not yet changed, your inner shift will soon demand a reflection. Your only task is to remain faithful to this assumption. The moment you assume the state of wealth, unseen forces begin working on your behalf. The people, opportunities, and events necessary for its fulfillment will be drawn to you as effortlessly as the tide is drawn to the shore. But you must persist. Doubt will whisper, it isn't working. Circumstances may suggest otherwise. Ignore them. The outer world is merely a delayed mirror of past assumptions. Keep the new assumption alive, and soon the evidence will appear before your very eyes. You are not trying to become wealthy, you are wealthy. You are not waiting to receive millions, you have millions. It is already done. Now go and live as though it were impossible to fail. There is a truth so simple, yet so profound, that once understood, it will change the way you move through life forever. Your world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state. Everything you see, touch, and experience first began as an idea within the mind. The unseen gives birth to the seen. The intangible shapes the tangible, and what you assume to be true, whether consciously or unconsciously, becomes the foundation upon which your life is built. Look at the circumstances that surround you, the people in your life, the opportunities that come or elude you, the wealth or lack thereof. All are manifestations of your inner world. They are the crystallized results of thoughts you have entertained, feelings you have nurtured, and beliefs you have accepted as reality. And yet, most people live under the illusion that life happens to them, that they are at the mercy of external forces. But this is a deception. You are not a victim of fate, you are the creator of it. Consider for a moment how everything in existence first came to be. Every towering building, every invention, every work of art, each one began as a thought in someone's mind. The chair you sit on was once a mere idea. The clothes you wear, the phone in your hand, the music you listen to, all first existed in imagination before becoming real. If this is true of the external world, why would it not also be true of your personal reality? You may believe that your current circumstances define who you are, but in truth, it is who you assume yourself to be that defines your circumstances. If you accept lack, struggle, and limitation as inevitable, then they will continue to appear in your life. If you believe you are powerless, life will only give you reasons to feel weak. But the moment you shift your assumption, When you accept that abundance, success, and happiness are natural for you, the outer world will begin to conform. This is not wishful thinking, this is law. What you hold in consciousness, whether in fear or in faith, will harden into fact. The process is always at work, whether you realize it or not. You cannot stop imagining, for imagination is the very essence of your being. But you can become aware of how you use it. Are you imagining worst-case scenarios? Are you constantly affirming struggle? Are you replaying past disappointments in your mind? If so, do not be surprised when these experiences continue to repeat themselves in your reality. To change your life, you must first change your assumption of what is possible. Begin by seeing yourself as already possessing that which you desire. Do not wait for proof. The proof will come after the assumption is made. If you wish for wealth, assume the feeling of being wealthy now. Walk as if you are already successful. Speak as if your desires are already yours. Carry yourself with the quiet assurance of one who knows that their success is inevitable. Doubt may arise. The logical mind will argue, this isn't real. But reality does not begin in the physical world. It begins in the unseen realm of thought. The outer world is simply a delayed reflection of the inner state. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, your assumptions require time to take shape in the physical world. But make no mistake, once planted, they will grow. The key is persistence. You cannot plant a seed and dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You must trust the process. Hold firm to the assumption that what you desire is already yours, and do not waver, no matter what the outer world suggests. The moment you let go of doubt and fully embrace the reality you seek, it will begin to unfold before you in ways you never expected. Your life is not determined by external circumstances. It is determined by the thoughts you consistently hold. If you desire change, then change must first take place within. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Live from that state, and watch as the world reshapes itself to match the vision you hold in mind. There is a profound difference between wishing for something and living as if it is already yours. Wishing implies separation. It acknowledges the absence of what you desire. But to embody the state of having, to live from the end, is to collapse the gap between you and your desire. It is to step into the feeling of fulfillment now, before the evidence appears, knowing that the outer world must eventually conform. Most people spend their lives hoping, yearning, and waiting for their desires to materialize, not realizing that this very state of longing keeps them stuck in lack. They wake up thinking about what they do not have. They move through the day reinforcing the idea that they are still waiting, and they go to sleep feeling as though their desires are just beyond their reach. And so the cycle continues. But what if you no longer wished? What if instead you assume the role of one who already possesses the wealth, the success, the freedom you seek? How would you think? How would you feel? How would you carry yourself in the world? Would you still dwell in doubt? Would you still fear the future? No. You would move with a quiet confidence, with an unshakable knowing that everything you desire is already yours. This is the key, to become what you seek before it physically appears, not through pretense, not through arrogance, but through the certainty that your assumption is reality. The world you see is simply a mirror, reflecting your dominant state of being. If you remain in the state of lack, life will only present you with more reasons to feel that way. But if you persist in the feeling of already having, then life must eventually confirm it. Do not concern yourself with how it will happen. The logical mind will always try to interfere, questioning every step, seeking evidence before belief. But the process does not work this way. The unseen precedes the seen. The assumption must come first, and the world will then rearrange itself to reflect it. Consider how a person who has already won millions behaves. They do not wake up worrying about how to pay their bills. They do not question whether they can afford something. They do not operate from desperation or fear. Instead, they move with a calm assurance, making choices from a place of abundance rather than lack. You must do the same. Stop acting as if wealth is something you are chasing. Instead, embody the version of yourself who already has it. Change the way you think, speak, and carry yourself. If you were already a millionaire, how would you approach opportunities? Would you hesitate, or would you move forward with confidence? Would you dwell on scarcity, or would you feel a deep sense of security and peace? You may say, but my bank account does not reflect this yet. That does not matter. Your external circumstances are simply the echoes of past assumptions. They have no power over you unless you continue to give them meaning. Ignore them. Persist in your new state, and soon reality will catch up. It is not enough to merely visualize or affirm. You must feel it deeply. The feeling is what makes it real. If you can generate the feeling of already possessing what you seek, if you can dwell in that state consistently, then you are no longer seeking. You are. And once you are, the world must respond accordingly. You are not here to wish for a better life. You are here to assume the life you desire and let reality mold itself around you. Step into the state of already having. Move as if your millions are secured. Speak as if success is inevitable. Think from the position of one who has already won. When you live from the end must come to meet you. Your emotions are not mere reactions to the world around you. They are the creative force that shapes your reality. Every moment, you are vibrating at a particular frequency, and life responds to that frequency by bringing you experiences that match it. This is why two people in the same situation can have completely different outcomes. One person radiates confidence and abundance, while the other emanates fear and lack. Their external worlds reflect their internal states. If you feel lack, you create more of it. If you feel abundance, you call abundance to you. It is that simple. Your emotions do not lie. They reveal the assumptions you hold about life. When you feel anxious about money, it is because you assume money is scarce. When you feel rejected, it is because you assume you are unworthy of love. But if you could shift your emotional state, if you could generate the feeling of already having, already being, already receiving, you would see how effortlessly life rearranges itself to match your new vibration. Most people live reactively. They let the outer world dictate how they feel. If they see money in their bank account, they feel secure. If they receive a compliment, they feel valued. If an opportunity presents itself, they feel optimistic. But this is moving backward. You must feel first, and then the outer world will adjust accordingly. Imagine waking up every morning feeling deeply wealthy, regardless of what your financial situation appears to be. You walk through your day with a quiet confidence, knowing that all your needs are met. You do not panic over expenses, you do not hesitate when making choices, and you do not entertain thoughts of scarcity. Your emotional state is one of certainty, of ease, of absolute trust that abundance is already yours. If you could maintain this feeling, your external world would have no choice but to reflect it back to you. But the opposite is also true. If you wake up every morning feeling fearful, anxious, and desperate, then life will confirm those feelings. You will find yourself encountering delays, struggles, and situations that reinforce your belief in lack. This is not a punishment. It is simply the law at work. You are always manifesting, whether you realize it or not. Your emotions are the signal you are sending out, and the universe responds accordingly. This is why affirmations and visualizations only work when they are backed by emotion. Simply repeating, "I am wealthy," while feeling deep financial anxiety will not change anything. The words are empty unless they are accompanied by the feeling of truth. But if you can close your eyes, take a deep breath, and genuinely feel the relief, the gratitude, and the excitement of already having what you desire, if you can hold on to that feeling long enough, it will begin to take root in your reality. The key is to train yourself to feel ahead of the evidence. Do not wait for circumstances to change before you allow yourself to feel joy, success, and security. Feel them now. Act as if you have already received, and the receiving will follow. Of course, doubts will arise. The logical mind will try to pull you back into old patterns, saying, "But look at your situation. How can you feel abundant when nothing has changed?" Ignore this voice. It is only the echo of past conditioning. You are not bound by the past. You are creating anew, and emotions are your tool. Each day, make it your priority to cultivate the emotions that align with your desires. Play music that makes you feel powerful. Walk with the posture of someone who already has everything they need. Speak as if success is certain. When you feel abundance deeply and consistently, you will find that life begins to reflect it in ways you never imagined. You are the creator, and your emotions are the brush with which you paint your reality. One of the greatest obstacles to manifesting your desires is the tendency to obsess over how they will come to pass. The logical mind seeks certainty, needing to know every step, every detail, every possible route from here to fulfillment. But this fixation on the how only creates resistance, for it keeps you trapped in a state of doubt and limitation. When you try to control the process, you signal to the universe that you do not truly trust in the power of your assumption, and what you do not trust, you push away. The unseen forces that shape reality do not operate by human logic. They do not require your interference. Just as the roots of a tree extend unseen beneath the soil, drawing in nourishment to support its inevitable growth, so too does the unseen intelligence of the universe orchestrate the unfolding of your desires in ways beyond your comprehension. Your only task is to persist in the assumption that what you desire is already yours. Everything else is irrelevant. Consider a farmer who plants a seed in the earth. He does not sit beside it, digging it up every hour to check its progress. He does not demand to know exactly how each root will form, how each leaf will sprout, or how the rain and sun will work together to bring it to fruition. He simply trusts that, in due time, the seed will become what it was always meant to be. This is the attitude you must adopt. You have planted the seed of your desire in the soil of imagination. If you constantly question how it will grow, you disrupt the natural process. But if you leave it undisturbed, nourishing it only with faith and persistence, it must manifest. Many fail because they look for signs too soon. They watch their circumstances obsessively, searching for proof that things are changing. And when they do not see immediate evidence, they fall into doubt, undoing the work they have done internally. But manifestation is not about external confirmation. It is about unwavering internal conviction. Your job is not to manipulate events, to force outcomes, or to micromanage the process. Your job is to feel as though it is done. The world will then move in ways you could not have predicted to bring your assumption into reality. Doors will open, paths will appear, and circumstances will shift, all without your effort. Think of a person who already possesses what you desire. Do they concern themselves with how it came to be? Do they anxiously try to piece together the events that led to their success? No, they simply enjoy it. They live in the reality of having, not questioning or doubting its presence. This is the state you must embody before the evidence arrives. You do not need to know how your millions will come. You do not need to map out the exact sequence of events that will lead you to your goal. You only need to persist in the feeling of already having it. The means will take care of themselves. Perhaps you will receive an unexpected opportunity. Perhaps a chance encounter will lead you to something greater than you imagined. Or perhaps circumstances will shift so seamlessly that it will feel as though your desire materialized effortlessly. But none of that is your concern. Release the need to control. Let go of the constant questioning. Move with the quiet confidence of one who knows that their success is inevitable. Trust that the unseen forces are at work, arranging everything in perfect order. Your assumption is the cause, and the world must reflect it. So walk forward without doubt, without hesitation, without the need for proof. Persist in your assumption and let the universe handle the rest. The how is not yours to worry about. It is already taken care of. Your words and actions are not separate from your thoughts. They are extensions of your inner state. What you consistently say and do reflects what you truly believe about yourself and your life. If you wish to manifest great wealth, you must align every word you speak and every action you take with the reality of one who already possesses it. Most people speak from their current circumstances rather than from the state they wish to embody. They say things like, "I can't afford that," "money is so hard to come by," or "I'm always struggling." Every time they affirm these beliefs, they reinforce their financial reality. The universe simply mirrors what they declare as truth. They may visualize wealth, they may even feel abundant for a moment, but the moment they revert to speech that affirms lack, they undo their own work. Your words carry creative power. They are declarations of what you accept as real. If you wish to manifest wealth, you must train yourself to speak only from a place of abundance. This does not mean lying or pretending. It means choosing words that align with the wealth you claim to possess internally. Instead of saying, "I can't afford it," say, "That's not a priority for me right now." Instead of saying, "I'm broke," say, "Wealth is flowing to me in ways I cannot yet see." You must speak as though your millions are already yours. But words alone are not enough. Your actions must reflect your new state as well. How does a wealthy person move through life? Do they hesitate over small purchases? Do they feel anxious about spending money? Do they approach opportunities with fear and doubt? No. They carry themselves with confidence. They invest in themselves without hesitation. And they trust that their resources will always replenish. This does not mean reckless spending. It means adopting the mindset of financial security before the evidence arrives. It means treating money as an abundant, ever-flowing resource rather than something scarce and fleeting. If you hold on to every dollar with fear, believing you might never get more, you reinforce the idea that money is hard to come by. But if you spend with the quiet assurance that more is always on its way, you align yourself with true abundance. The way you carry yourself also speaks volumes. Do you walk with the posture of one who is weighed down by financial stress? Or do you move with the ease and confidence of a person who knows they are wealthy? Do you dress and present yourself with care? Or do you let your outer appearance reflect a belief in lack? Every detail matters because every detail reinforces an assumption. Consider the habits of those who already possess great wealth. They invest in their growth. They surround themselves with success-minded individuals, and they approach every opportunity with the certainty that they belong in rooms of influence. They do not speak in desperation, they speak in certainty. They do not act from fear, they act from power. And aligning your speech and actions with wealth means carrying yourself as though your financial reality has already transformed. It means making decisions from the mindset of abundance rather than from scarcity. It means embodying the confidence, generosity, and ease of a person who knows they are financially secure. Each day, ask yourself, would a millionaire say this? Would a millionaire act this way? Would a millionaire hesitate in this moment? And then adjust accordingly. Speak only words of abundance. Move only in ways that reflect confidence. Take actions that affirm your financial freedom. The moment you fully embody the state of wealth, the external world will have no choice but to reflect it back to you. The greatest test of your ability to manifest wealth, success, or any desire is your persistence in the face of doubt. It is easy to believe when everything appears to be working in your favor, when signs seem to affirm that your assumption is taking shape. But what will you do when the physical world shows no evidence of change? What will you do when old fears and doubts creep in, whispering that perhaps this is not working, that maybe you are fooling yourself? This is where most people fail, not because their desires are impossible, but because they waver in their faith before the unseen becomes seen. The moment you assume a new state of being, reality begins shifting. But because physical manifestation follows an unseen process, there is often a delay between assumption and realization. This delay is not a sign of failure, it is simply the natural unfolding of events. Most people misinterpret this period of transition as proof that their efforts are in vain. In their impatience, they return to old thoughts, old doubts, and old emotional reactions, undoing the very progress they had made. They do not persist long enough for the new state to solidify into fact. You must be different. You must persist until it is done. There can be no half-hearted attempts, no wavering back and forth between belief and disbelief. If you have chosen the state of wealth, then that is the state you must occupy mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. No matter what appears before you, if doubt arises, you do not entertain it. You remind yourself that what is seen is merely a reflection of past thoughts, past beliefs, and past assumptions. And since you are no longer that person, since you have shifted your state, you know that the outer world must rearrange itself accordingly. Consider a sculptor who is committed to carving a masterpiece from a block of stone. He does not stop midway simply because he cannot yet see the final form. He does not abandon his work because in the beginning it looks nothing like the vision he holds in his mind. He persists, chiseling away, refining his creation until the masterpiece emerges. This is how you must treat your assumption. You must hold on to it, unwavering, until it hardens into fact. When doubts arise, as they inevitably will, do not resist them with fear. Instead, observe them with detachment, knowing they are remnants of an old state that no longer belongs to you. Let them pass through your awareness without giving them power. Affirm to yourself, this is already done. My wealth is inevitable. The world is simply catching up to my assumption. Faith is not about seeing first and then believing. Faith is knowing that what you have assumed is already yours, long before any proof appears. Those who achieve great wealth, success, and transformation do not do so because they are lucky or special. They do so because they refuse to return to their old selves. They persist in the new state until it is fully expressed in their reality. So make a decision now. Will you allow temporary appearances to dictate your belief, or will you persist in the unseen until it becomes seen? Will you waver in moments of doubt, or will you stand firm in your conviction? The choice is yours. But know this, the universe does not deny what you persist in assuming is true. If you refuse to entertain any reality other than the one you desire, if you remain unwavering in your assumption, then the world must conform. There is no other possibility. So persist. Persist through the silence. Persist through the doubts. Persist through every appearance that tries to convince you otherwise. Because the moment you refuse to turn back, the moment you make the decision that this is already yours, it is done. Everything you seek, wealth, success, abundance, already exists within you. Your imagination is the key, shaping your reality through your assumptions. By living from the end, feeling the emotions of already having what you desire, and detaching from the how, you align yourself with the reality you wish to experience. Your words and actions must reflect this truth, reinforcing your belief until it becomes unshakable. And above all, you must persist. refusing to waver, refusing to return to the old self until your assumption hardens into fact. The world is simply a reflection of your inner state. When you truly embody the wealth you seek, when you walk, speak, and move with the confidence of one who already possesses it, the outer world must conform. There is no other outcome. So stand firm in your belief, stay faithful to your vision, and watch as the unseen forces arrange everything in your favor. Thank you.